Hi, it's Jane with the frog in her throat. Today we are going to do the bean stitch, and this is a really nice stitch. As you can see, excuse the cat hairs, it does not curl, and it's a great stitch to use to make all kinds of projects. It's cushy. That's what the back looks like, but this is the front. And yes, you can do it in Tunisian crochet. So, this stitch, you can actually start with any number of chains. And we are going to start with 13. Just because, once I get my yarn unwound. So we're going to chain 13 stitches. Start with the slip knot, however you make that. And then we will chain 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's do 11. 11, 12. Just so you can see how it's done. And of course we're going to do our normal foundation row. I like to go in the back loop, the back bump of the chain. You can go through whatever part of the chain you would like to, but you're just going to pick those loops up like you would do normally with Tunisian. And I am using a J hook today. You can certainly use any size hook that you would like to. Sometimes you have a little bit of difficulty there. Next week I am planning on showing you how to do a Tunisian waffle stitch. Of course, the return pass is chain 1, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you'll do that all the way across. But with that waffle stitch, what I thought I would show you is a small, just making a small square with Tunisian crochet. You could turn it into a washcloth. You could do more stitches, make it into a, a wrap, or you could turn it into a blanket, whatever you choose to. Now, the way that the bean stitch works is we're going to go into this next bar like a Tunisian simple, pull up a loop. You want to make it kind of loose. Then yarn over, go back into that loop, pull up another stitch. So you effectively have 3 for the one stitch. We now have 4 on our hooks. So we'll go into the next stitch like a Tunisian simple, pull up a loop, pull it up a little loosely, yarn over, go back into that stitch again, pull up another loop, again loosely if possible. And then we're going to go into the next just like we did before. Tunisian simple, pull up a loop, kind of loose, yarn over, go back through that bar, pick up another loop. And we're basically going to do that all the way down our row. And the reason you want to keep it kind of loose is for when you do your return pass, make it a little easier to get through there. So again, yarn over, go through like a Tunisian simple stitch, pull up that loop, yarn over, go back through that bar, pull up another loop, Tunisian simple stitch the next stitch, yarn over, go back into that bar, pull up another loop. And we'll just repeat that all the way down. Sorry about the sniffing. My allergies are the worst in the fall and spring, although I have them year-round. You know, yay me, hay fever. In that last stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through that bar again, pull up another loop. Now we're going to do our neat close like normal. Go through those two on the end, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now, you will notice that you basically, if you spread those out apart, since I'm using a smaller hook, I can't spread them out enough for you, but you'll see you have little groups of 3, 3, 3 for each stitch. So the return pass is this way. You'll chain 1, yarn over, pull through 4. 1, 2, 3, 3, and 4. See, even I had a little bit of trouble with that. Yarn over, pull through 4. 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 And sometimes a little difficult. Yarn over. Yarn over, pull through 4. Yarn over, pull. Oh, I missed something up there. All right, yarn over, pull through 4. Yarn over, pull through 4. Well, I'm still messed up there. Let me go back. See, even I can get confused. And I think I pulled through 5 on one of those. So counting your stitches does help. Keeps it nice and straight so you have a clue what's going on. At least you get a chance to see me make mistakes left and right. I don't always edit. Generally, if I'm editing, I am just adding clips together because I figure it's good for you to see the mistakes that I make as I go along. And we're all human, we all make mistakes. That's not a bad thing, folks. Mistakes help us grow. And as you can see, even there, I had a little issue, and I probably most likely went through 5 stitches because I didn't have a lot of room on my hook. Maybe I should have started with less. Okay, chain 1, yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3. Well, 4. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's make that clear. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can almost see your break here. So yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4. Yarn over, pull through 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you have 2 on your hook, then yarn over, pull through 2. Glad you got to see that mistake. All right, now when we are doing the next row, this is the only thing that's a little different, but it's basically still the same. You see those little loops here that are on the top of the bean stitch? That is where you are going to go in and pull up your loops. So you're going to go into that first one, pull up a loop like you would do a Tunisian simple stitch, then yarn over, go back into that, pull up a loop. Go into the next stitch, the loop over the bean stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go back into that stitch, pull up another loop. Go into this next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go back into that, pull up another loop. And you'll just repeat that all the way down till you get to that last stitch. And the only thing I will tell you is when you are repeating this row, sometimes that first loop can be kind of hidden. And when we get back to that return pass, maybe I can show you a little bit better what I mean about that. We still have one more loop here. Go through it, pull up a loop, yarn over, go back through that. Now we're at the last loop and we're going to go through the last two like normal. Pull up a loop, chain one, yarn over, pull through four, yarn over, pull through four, yarn over, pull through four, all the way back to the last two stitches. And then yarn over, pull through the last two. As you can see, sometimes this loop, you'll miss it at the very beginning, but remember there is always one right next to this. So again, for that row repeat, we're going to go just like we would be Tunisian simple stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go back through that, pull up another loop. Tunisian simple, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through, pull up a loop. I'll get some more yarn here. Go back into that, pull up a loop, yarn over, go back in. And this is probably where it's a little more important to keep your loops a little bit looser. It's going back into that. Whoops, don't go through both of them. And this is often considered an intermediate crochet stitch, although it really doesn't have to be considered that. You just have to learn to, as I always say, read your stitches. And as always, we're going to go through that next little bar over the top of the bean stitch, which is our next stitch. Tunisian simple stitch, yarn over, go back into that stitch, pull up another loop. Then we have one more stitch here, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through again, pull up a loop, then go through the last two on that stitch, pull up your loop, chain one, yarn over, pull through four, yarn over, pull through four, yarn over, pull through four, all the way to the end. It is a fun stitch to do. And it almost reminds me of the regular bean stitch. Then when you get to the last two, it's yarn over, pull through two. But as you can see, there's very little curl in it. You could continue that on all the way through if you wanted to. Like I said, it's nice and cushy. But if you wanted to put a break in between, you could simply do a row of Tunisian simple stitch. Pull up that loop. Go through that bar, pull up the loop. Bar across the bean stitch, pull up your loop. Pull up your loop. And of course, when you get to the end, go through the last two like normal. Pull up your loop. Chain one, then yarn over, pull through two because you've gone back to the simple stitch. And you could do that for a couple of rows in between, and then go back to your bean stitch, do a couple of rows of your bean stitch. And of course, for that, you would just simply start back into this like Tunisian simple stitch, yarn over, go back into that bar, pull up a stitch if you wanted to. You would do that across like we were doing before. You could simply, when you got finished with this bean stitch, for that stitch there, you would just do your normal bind off, which would be a simple slip stitch, which is generally what most folks do. Could do a single crochet if you chose, but that would be your bind off for that project. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again next week. And next week we will do a little waffle stitch block, which you could turn into a washcloth if you use cotton instead of acrylic. All right, that's it today. Enjoy. See you again next week.